Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Y&R Trends. The calm and quiet of Genoa City were about to be filled with big secrets, betrayals, and heartache as the January 10, 2026 episode of The Young and the Restless brought one of the most heartbreaking Saturdays in a long time. It all started at the Newman Ranch, where Victor Newman was standing still, feeling like his strong business empire was suddenly shaking. A big shock hit him, and it wasn't just about his company, it was about his family too. Cain Ashby, who was full of ambition and wanted revenge, had started a powerful and tough move to take over Newman Enterprises. He used inside information and made dangerous friends to trap Victor in a way no one else ever could. Even though Victor tried to hide his fear with a serious look, Nikki noticed how scared he really was. She realized this wasn't just a business fight. It was a personal attack meant to take everything the Newmans had worked for. Things got even worse when Victoria found some documents showing that Cain had been secretly working with a mysterious investor, linked to one of Victor's worst mistakes. Now Victoria had to decide. Protect her father or tell the truth and risk losing everything the Newman family has built, even if it means destroying their name forever. Across town at the Abbott mansion, Jack Abbott was falling apart as he held a letter that had come with no return address. The handwriting was eerily familiar, Allie's. It was her last letter, written just days before she disappeared. In it, she revealed a terrible truth that broke Jack's heart. She had discovered a deadly secret involving Noah Newman and Sienna Porter. She had found out they were the ones who killed Matt, not by accident but on purpose to make sure he never spoke again. As Jack's hands shook and tears ran down his face, he understood that Allie had been killed to keep that secret hidden. She had become a victim of the same dark plan. Now the words of her last letter burned in his mind, and he swore to seek justice no matter what it took, even if it meant tearing down two of Genoa City's most powerful families. In a dimly lit hospital room, Noah Newman was falling apart as he looked at Sienna's body, which was no longer moving. The machines that were once making beeping sounds were now quiet, and her bright eyes were closed forever. The mysterious overdose that no one could explain was something only Noah understood, because the guilt of what they had done to Matt had finally gotten to her, making her give up. As Noah fell to the floor, crying out in pain, he kept repeating her name, stuck in the memory of the night they killed Matt in a desperate try to keep their secrets quiet. They didn't know it would lead to a series of deaths, lies, and heartbreak that would destroy everything they cared about. Watching from the doorway, Chance Chancellor started putting together the pieces, realizing that Sienna's death wasn't just a sad accident, but the end of a much darker story that Genoa City wasn't ready to deal with. At Crimson Lights, Sharon found herself caught in a personal storm when Nick Newman confronted her with accusations that hurt more than any blade. He demanded to know why she had been secretly meeting with a mysterious man behind his back. When Sharon finally lost her temper and slammed her hand on the table, she revealed the shocking truth. Her new lover wasn't just a stranger but someone linked to Victor's past. This man knew secrets that could bring down the entire Newman family. As Nick looked at her in shock, Sharon coldly told him that loyalty has its limits. If the Newmans kept controlling her life, she would expose everything, even if it meant tearing down relationships she once promised she'd never break. Back at Chancellor Winters, Lily Winters was really feeling sad and full of regret. She kept thinking about the moment she told Cain those three terrible words, "We are done," which made him go into a deep dark place. His obsession with power and desire for revenge only grew stronger. Now, as she watched everything unfold from the boardroom window, Lily realized that her heartbreak had played a big part in making Cain the monster he was becoming. He was ready to take down Victor Newman, betray his friends, and even hurt innocent people just to show he was the strongest. As Billy Abbott tried to comfort her, Lily quietly cried and said she was worried that Genoa City would never be the same again, because Cain's battle had only just started. At the police station, Chance and Abby got into a serious disagreement when new proof came to light linking Noah to Matt's murder. This evidence included surveillance video and a voice recording that sounded exactly like Noah's. But Abby wouldn't believe that the man she loved could do something so bad. Chance, caught between his job and his feelings, tried to stay calm, knowing that if the truth was revealed, it would ruin the Newman family completely. As Chance was about to get a warrant, Abby asked him to take a break. She didn't know that Noah was already getting ready to leave town, planning to escape Genoa City before things got too bad. At the same time, Phyllis Summers was causing her own problems by giving secret information about Newman Enterprises to the news media, which led to a big public scandal and made the company's stock value drop quickly, making investors very worried. While all this was happening, Victor watched in anger as his rivals and people he trusted started to turn against him. He realized his business was being attacked from all sides, by competitors, by people he had wronged, and by old secrets that were coming back to haunt him. Determined to fight back even harder, Victor's intense need for control made Nicky worry that he might make a bad decision that could destroy not only his company but also his family. In a big surprise, Jack finally met Noah face to face. He slammed Allie's letter on the table and asked for answers. As Noah's calm look broke down, the truth came out quickly. It showed how Matt had threatened to tell everyone about Noah and Sienna. The fight got out of control and Allie saw everything, which led to her getting in trouble. When Jack ran towards Noah in anger, security came in to stop the fight. But by then, the truth was already known, and Genoa City would never be the same again. As the episode reached its big climax, sirens blared through the night as police surrounded the Newman ranch, looking for Noah. Meanwhile, Victor got ready to fight Kane. Sharon planned to share some dangerous secrets. Lily grieved for the man Kane used to be, and Jack promised to seek justice for Allie. In the last scary moments, a mysterious person watched everything from the shadows, holding a flash drive with evidence that could ruin every powerful family in Genoa City. This proved that the darkest secrets were still waiting to come out, and the battle for truth, power, and survival had only just started. The night in Genoa City became thicker and heavier with each passing moment, as though the air itself could sense the secrets about to reveal themselves. While police sirens blared through the streets, searching frantically for Noah Newman, a much bigger storm was brewing inside the Newman ranch. It was far more dangerous than anything happening outside. Victor Newman, angry and trapped, faced off against Kane Ashby in a tense showdown that felt like a bomb about to explode. Their voices rang through the large halls as years of rivalry, pride, and hidden anger finally came to a head. Kane coldly told Victor that taking over Newman Enterprises was just the start of his revenge, explaining that Victor's past tricks had cost him everything he cared about. Now, Kane planned to make Victor experience the same terrible loss, even if it meant tearing down Genoa City's most powerful business empire piece by piece. Meanwhile, across town, Abby was sitting alone in the dark living room of her apartment, looking at her phone. Noah hadn't replied to his messages, and they kept piling up. Her heart was hurting because she loved him, but she also felt scared by the terrible things chance had shown her. The man she trusted was now accused of murder, and with every moment that passed, it became harder to ignore the truth. Finally, a text came through on her phone. "I'm sorry. I never meant for this to happen." Those words broke her world and made Abby face the reality that Noah wasn't just fleeing from the police, but also from the guilt he'd carried since Matt's death. At the Abbott mansion, Jack couldn't sleep, his pain from Allie's last letter cutting deep into his heart like a fresh wound. The more he read her words, the more he realized her murder wasn't just a sad accident. It was a deliberate act to silence her. As Diane tried to calm him down, Jack's sadness turned into anger. He promised himself he would find and take down everyone responsible, no matter how high up they were, even if it meant fighting against the Newmans directly. Then, a secret envelope showed up with pictures of Noah and Sienna meeting with a mysterious person just days before Matt died. Jack knew someone was secretly watching, gathering proof, and ready to reveal the truth about Genoa City with full force. At the police station, Chance felt a lot of pressure because higher-ups wanted answers fast. The case had grown too big to ignore, involving rich families, big companies, and a series of strange deaths. Even though he tried to focus on doing what's right, Abby's sadness made every choice feel like a personal blow. When new forensic tests showed that Sienna's overdose wasn't an accident, but was caused by a deadly mix of drugs someone had given her on purpose, it raised serious questions. It made people wonder if she was killed before she could reveal the truth about Matt's murder and Allie's death. As Chance started a bigger investigation, he couldn't help feeling like a powerful, hidden force was pulling the strings from behind the scenes. Sharon met secretly with her mysterious new lover in an old empty warehouse on the edge of town. The lights there flickered, making strange shadows on his face. He told her about the dangerous things Victor Newman had done in the past, old money crimes, blackmail plans, and a big cover-up involving a deadly accident that happened years ago. Victor had hidden all that with money and power. As Sharon listened in shock, she understood that she now had the power to take down the Newman empire. But using that power would hurt her family, especially Nick and their kids. When she hesitated, the man said coldly that secrets stay hidden only until someone decides to uncover them. Back at Chancellor Winters, Lily confronted Kane with tears in her eyes and anger in her voice, asking how far he was willing to go. When Kane admitted he had caused leaks, hurt Victor's friends, and tampered with stock prices to weaken Newman Enterprises, Lily realized the man she once loved had become someone she didn't recognize. He wasn't fighting for justice anymore, he was driven by his obsession. As she pleaded with him to stop before more innocent people got hurt, Kane said softly that Genoa City had already picked its villains, and now it was his turn to win. In a surprising turn of events, Noah was finally caught at an old cabin by the lake. The police had surrounded the place, led by Chance. But before they could take him into custody, Noah came out with trembling hands and a shaky voice. He admitted to killing Matt and told the truth about Sienna helping cover it up. He said fear made them commit crimes, and that Allie's death was the cost of keeping quiet. Watching from far away, Abby cried as she realized the man she loved was gone, replaced by someone troubled by decisions that couldn't be undone. The biggest surprise happened when a mysterious person put out a shocking video to the press, showing proof that Matt had been working with Kane's secret investor. This suggested that the murder wasn't just about personal reasons, but was part of a bigger plan involving spying on companies, betraying people, and power struggles that went way beyond one sad night. As Genoa City turned into a mess, with people's reputations ruined and friendships broken, it became clear that finding the truth was just the start of a much more dangerous battle. As the morning light began to show over the city, Victor was alone in his office, looking out at the skyline that once showed his unstoppable power but now was starting to crack because of a scandal, betrayal, and revenge. Meanwhile, Jack was getting ready to reveal the last pieces of proof. Sharon had to make a decision that could change her family forever. Lily was sad about the man Kane used to be. Abby was hurting because of the love she had lost. And Genoa City was preparing for a big reckoning that would affect everyone. Because the fight for truth, control, and survival had gone too far, and the worst part was still ahead. The sun came up over Genoa City quietly, watching the damage from the night before. But for the families caught in the middle, there was no calm. Only the heavy truth hitting all at once. As Noah Newman was taken away in handcuffs, his admission spread through the city, breaking the false image of innocence that had surrounded the Newman name. Abby cried as she watched the man she loved being taken away forever. Victor Newman stood still, realizing that no matter how much power, money, or control he had, it couldn't fix the harm done by his family's biggest secrets. For the first time, Victor Newman felt completely helpless. Inside the courthouse, Jack Abbott gave the proof that would change everything. He showed Allie's last letter, the surveillance pictures, and a surprising video that connected Matt's murder to a bigger secret. As the truth came out for everyone to see, Genoa City was shocked as the fake images of loyalty and love started to fall apart. Allie wasn't just a person who was hurt. She was a hero who gave her life to reveal the lies that some powerful people wanted to hide. When the judge praised her courage, Jack cried and made a promise that her voice would never be forgotten again. The biggest surprise happened when Kane Ashby's secret investor finally came out of the shadows. He turned out to be someone from Newman's past who had been wronged years ago, and was left alone and suffering. Now, using Kane's drive for success, this person worked from inside Newman Enterprises to bring it down. They planned everything, took advantage of weaknesses, and even used Matt's investigation to uncover Victor's old crimes. This showed that revenge, when planned carefully and patiently, can be even more powerful than a direct fight. As Victor realized how much he had been tricked, his business started falling apart bit by bit. Sharon faced the biggest decision of her life. She stood in front of Nick, her eyes full of tears, and told him everything about her secret meetings, the hidden evidence, and the crimes Victor had covered up years before. She knew the truth would tear their family apart, but she also believed that staying quiet would hurt them even more. As Nick listened in shock, feelings of betrayal, love, and loyalty all mixed together in his heart. He had to decide whether to protect his father or stand up for what was right. In that moment, the future of the Newman family changed forever. At Chancellor Winters, Lily dealt the last strike to Kane's obsession, choosing not to stand with a man who had let revenge take over his life. As she walked away, Kane finally understood that power wasn't everything without the people you care about. But by then it was too late, because his decisions had already started a chain of destruction, leaving him all alone in the ruins of his dreams, haunted by the truth that he had won the fight but lost everything else. In a quiet, sad moment, Abby went to visit Noah in prison. Their last talk was full of tears, sadness, and love that wasn't said out loud. Noah told her that fear made him into a person he never wanted to be. Abby tried not to cry and said she would always remember the man he used to be, not the criminal he had become. As she left, she realized that some love stories don't end happily. They just end with pain and important lessons. As Genoa City slowly tried to heal, people gathered to remember Ali and Sienna, paying tribute to lives taken by hidden secrets and silence. While the city grieved, it also grew wiser, because the truth, even when hard to face, had finally been uncovered. This showed that no big power, no family, and no lie could last forever. As Jack stood by Ali's grave, saying a quiet goodbye that showed how much he hurt, he vowed to keep her bravery alive, making sure her sacrifice would never be forgotten. In the final sad moment, Victor Newman was by himself in his dark office, looking at the city skyline that once showed his powerful control, but now it reminded him of all he had lost. As he quietly said, "The game isn't over." It was clear that even though this part of his story had ended, the story of power, trickery, and change in Genoa City wasn't done. Because in the world of the young and the restless, every ending just means a new storm is about to start.